Hey, what's up, guys? Tukey here, back again with another episode of my San Jose Sharks franchise mode series right here on NHL 20. And today we continue on and finish up with our second season at the helm of the Sharks. And so far, so good. Yet again, we find ourselves at the top of the Pacific Division. Whether or not we can find regular season success, that's not exactly the question at this point. It's more so whether or not we can find that postseason success. And to shore up our chances, we were looking at potential moves, mainly in terms of goaltending, finding a slightly better option to Aiden Hill, who I don't know if we'd be able to trust in the postseason. Of course, Martin Jones is still there. And defensively as well, potentially replacing the likes of Tim Heed. Now, defensively, in terms of options, there really wasn't anybody out there right now that fit the bill that would at least be cheaper. Again, I'm not limited to just trading for players on the block, but you do save a hell of a lot in terms of how much you have to give up to make those deals happen. Unlike, defensively, there really wasn't anybody yet, and that's what we're hoping for. I did lose my train of thought for a second, I'll admit, because I wanted to point out that some people said, oh, get Braden Point and get Matt Murray. We can't. They are both RFAs who did not sign. We are, of course, past December 1st, so neither of those two are available for the... Actually, Matt Murray... Yeah, Matt Murray's not available either. For a second, I'm like, well, with the salary. So yeah, neither of those two guys are available. So we can't pick up those guys. But again, defensively, there really wasn't anybody out there yet. We'll keep an eye on it as we move closer to the deadline. Goaltending-wise, our best option was Jake Allen, which is the ultimate meme to try and bring in Jake Allen alongside Martin Jones and find success in the playoffs. I'm going to wait a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll give Jones and Hill a little bit of time to be successful. We're not going to go straight to deadline day, but we'll see what happens as we move closer to it. So you've already seen the lineup. You know what this team is at this point. Let's move forward, see what happens. It's a very busy month leading up to the deadline. It's an early deadline this year on February 26th. So let's see what we can do. Your Tyken's back to 100%, but we won't be playing him, although he has been one hell of a depth option this year, as that is not a good sign for the goaltending. And we do have a trade. Jason, wow, really? That's insane. Jason Robertson and a third for Wenberg and Foligno. So Dallas is stocking up, but I think Columbus just got the best piece there. Good God. Jason Robertson to the Blue Jackets. Good deal for them. We managed to lose the first 3 games in this episode, which, call it a hunch, could end up being a problem. Not very... that's not exactly shining a positive light on the goaltending when we talked about it being an issue just a second ago. We do pick up a win, though, against Buffalo. I'm going to go one more week. We'll go to the halfway point between where we started and the trade deadline, and we'll take it from there. As other deals are going down, Adam Larson has been dealt. It's basically Adam Larson and a third for a second-round pick. So the Vegas Golden Knights pick up Larson. It's a second and a fourth. Much, much better than having Taylor Hall. Good God, the trades. Rasmus Sandin dealt. I don't know why. Pelletier a third and Kragen for Sandin and Jakola. I don't understand that one. What are the Leafs doing? My God, the trades. Adam Pelech has been dealt to Colorado, and along with a third for Vico, a fourth, and a fifth. All the deals are happening right now. So we'll definitely just try to get through these 2 games and take a look as 2 straight wins, immediately eliminated by 2 straight losses. So not a great start to today's episode from a sim perspective. We are still 6 points clear at the top of the division, but not exactly firing on all cylinders at this point. And the goaltending is a big reason as to why both of their save percentages have dropped already this episode. And that second pairing, man, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. There has got to be a way to move that contract at some point. I'm sticking with them for now, but I still think if we can find somebody on the block, that would be great. Potentially move Tim Heed down to a depth role. So in terms of goaltenders, is there anybody else out there? Jake Allen's still on the block. How is he doing? he's been fine. The save percentage has technically gone up. Cragen's there. Wow, he's terrible. What the hell were the Leafs doing? Getting rid of Sandin. I don't understand that. Kevin Boyle's still there. Samsonov and Vanishek, but again, that's not a good fit. We're looking for somebody higher rated who might actually be able to get the job done for us. And right now, I'm not seeing it. Again, Reimer and Askarov are still there. Markstrom is new and on an expiring deal. At least I think he's new. Ugh, that's right. God, his save percentage hasn't been great. He's also more expensive than Jake Allen, so that doesn't make any sense for us whatsoever. Edmonton with Anderson, Smith, and Koskinen. Smith is hurt. He's been good. Craig Anderson's been all right, too. Huh. Craig Anderson might be a safer bet than Jake Allen. No disrespect to Jake Allen. Now, Allen's been the better of the three. Craig Smith does have the cheapest cap hit of all of the goaltenders, though. So that's worth noting. He does have the cheapest price. Cam Talbot's on a 2-year deal, so no thank you. Thomas Greiss, again, no thank you. Craig Anderson might be the answer here. Anton Khudobin, though, too. I mean, I did see Cory Schneider there. I'm not sure what his hit is. Let's find out. Cory Schneider, not Cory Schneider. Anton Khudobin, is he on an expiring deal? He is. Let's take a... Nope. No. No. That is not happening. So, Craig Anderson right now is the interesting one. What team was he on? He wasn't on... He was on Edmonton, right, with Koskinen? Yeah, there we go. And Mike Smith. I wonder how long Smith is hurt for. But Craig Anderson makes a lot of sense. And you never know. He might be able to go on like one more magical run. He wasn't great last year in Ottawa with a 9.02. But he's been decent this year. Smith had a 9.05 last year. And to look at Jake Allen again, he has the 9.15. He had a 9.01 the prior year. We would save a bit going after Anderson. He's a little bit less expensive, if not about the same, but value-wise, yeah, the bar is a little bit lower, and value-wise, he's a little bit cheaper. So I do wonder what the price would be. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. No, I hit the wrong button. I do wonder what the price would be for Craig Smith. Now, or Craig Smith. Craig Anderson. Not the forward, of course. So for you, what do we have? 2/3? 2/3, huh? That's not too bad. I mean, in terms of what we have on this team, it could be worse. You know what we should take a look at, though, is to see if Edmonton are also giving up any players. Now, getting defensemen from Edmonton, that sounds like a scary proposition. But if Clefbaum is available, which he's not, it could have worked. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is available. He's had a decent season, too. I don't think we necessarily need him, but damn. I mean, you want to talk about stocking up for a playoff run. Adding Ryan Nugent-Hopkins wouldn't be a bad way to do it. I don't know if we'd have the assets to do it. Again, that would push Dylan Gambrell potentially out of the lineup, depending on what they wanted. Maybe we would give up Gambrell in the deal, which is a little bit risky. You know, that would probably push LeBanc down, but man, you add Nugent-Hopkins to that top 9, that's tough to deal with. Even if we have two 41-year-olds in this lineup, they are still both very capable, and we'd still be looking for a defenseman. So I wonder, this could get very interesting here. We'd still need a defenseman, but in terms of what we have, I mean, pick-wise, we're not exactly rich with draft picks. But for the right price, this could be very, very interesting. Now, in terms of who else they have, by the way, I care more about overall right now. They also have Mikko Koivu, who has been terrible this year. How does Nuge fit in with the team, by the way? Would fit in on the first line, huh? Consummate professional, they say. Alex Chason's having a damn good season in terms of assists. Doesn't really fit in on our team, though, unfortunately. Jujar Kyra, not exactly killing it. Would fit in on a third line. And then defensively, you got the likes of Chris Russell, who's actually having a decent season. Fits in with all of our lines. I don't know if I want to bring in Chris Russell to replace Tim Heed. That's not exactly a major improvement. But if we were to add Nuge and Anderson, what would this be? Uh-oh, it might not work. It wouldn't work. We don't have any. We don't have enough. So in terms of a goaltender, I think Craig Anderson's the guy. But for defensemen, is there anybody available that we want? And we can still also look at forwards if we wanted to. It's not the worst idea in the world. Alex Martinez, or Alec Martinez at the end of his deal. Oh boy, like LA might be a bad team, but that's just horrific. That's pretty rough. Minnesota, they ended up with Dadonov, Pominville, Connor Sherry. It's not bad. The top three are all on expiring deals. Although, well, Dadonov's had a pretty damn good year. Fits in the top six, fits in on the power play and the penalty kill. That would drop LeBanc down to the third line. Do they have any interest in moving Dadonov, and for what? A first, Artukin, and a third. Dexter in 2 seconds. Artukin in 2 seconds. That's affordable. That's affordable. I don't hate that. Let's make note of that, shall we? The Minnesota and Dadonov could be a decent fit for us. What else do we have? Montreal, nothing. Nashville, nothing. New Jersey, Palmieri, Zajac, Coleman, Eunice Brodin, Nikita Gusev. Bunch of people on expiring deals. Gusev, not exactly killing it. Brodin's been okay, fits in the top 4. Coleman, not exactly killing it. Palmieri's having a decent year, but doesn't fit in on this team. So, it's not looking too good. Yeah, Zajac doesn't fit in on the team either. The Islanders moving Cizikas and Edmondson. Cizikas, nah, that's not going to happen. Rangers, nobody. Ottawa, Zaitsev. How many years left? 3? 4. Jesus. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. St. Louis not moving anybody. I was going to say, Jesus, they're moving Point. Of course they are. He's an RFA. You would think it'd be a little bit easier to acquire his rights, though. Here's the issue, though. If we were to acquire his rights, we wouldn't be able to play him this year anyway, so it'd be pointless. Toronto's moving Liljegren. They already moved Sandin, which is crazy. Roussel, no thank you. Dean Kukin, no thank you. Are there going to be any defensemen that kind of fit what we're looking for here? Seems to be a lot more of a forward-heavy market right now. Okposo and Osplund, I mean, wow, Calgary already has Sandin on the block, so what was the point? Jonathan Taves. 3 years left, though. How good's Saad doing this year? Very good. He has 28 goals. He would be, I mean, Jesus, Brandon Saad on the third line? What's the cost there? A second, Tim Heed, and a third. They really want Tim Heed, which is a shame because I don't want to give Tim Heed up. It's an option, though. It's a pricey rental. Again, the idea is to have Tim Heed move into a depth role because what a depth player to have. It would depend on if there's another defenseman that we could pick up. Right now, it's not really looking like it. Archibald made it up to an 83, man. He's making $6 million bucks. Fits in the top 6. Jesus Christ. Ryan Murray's having a decent season. Fits in on the third line. That's what we're looking for. Is he on an expiring deal, though? He is. What about Riley Nash? Ryan Murray in Columbus isn't a terrible option either. He's the best option we've seen thus far. Abdulkader, no thanks. And again, we go back to Nuge. Okay, so I mean, I think we have our options. For forward help, we're looking at Evgeny Dadonov or Brandon Saad. And I gotta be honest, I mean, I think I liked the options for Dadonov more. I could edit that and try to take Tim Heed out of the equation, because again, I'd prefer to keep him. But I mean, if you look at Saad, 28 goals this season, fits in on the third line. Dadonov in Minnesota has 51 points and 20 goals, and would fit in the top 6. He'd also fit in on the power play and the penalty kill. Whereas Saad, again, third line and penalty kill. I don't really know if we have much space in on the power play, so it'd kind of make more sense. Now, Saad is on their second power play unit right now. It would kind of make sense. I mean, cap-wise, how much trouble are we in cap-wise right now? It's not going to show me from here. He's making about $6 million. Dadonov's also making a decent amount. Man, would we even be able to afford this? It's showing like, oh yeah, Trade Finder's good to go. I don't even know if I'd technically be able to afford this. I'm leaning... Okay, so Dadonov... Do we need more of a pure goal scorer, which is apparently what Saad's proving to be? Or do we want someone who's a bit more well-rounded? I mean, Couture has 26 goals, 18 for Hurdle, 17 for Meyer. You know, another goal scorer wouldn't hurt. It really wouldn't. Another true goal scorer could be just what the doctor ordered. I'm thinking we see if this Saad deal has legs. Not the guy I would have expected to pick up, but he fits on the team pretty well. He's relatively cheap. It's just whether or not cap-wise this works for us. I don't know if it does. Apparently it does. So a second, a third, and Heed. Again, we'll try to take him out. Damn it, I gotta go all the way back. That's unfortunate. I wanted to see what the other deals were because I do not remember. Skater match and block, Saad, find, trade. So it's a second, a third, and Heed, or Dexter, Heed, and a fourth. Now we ended up with the two goalies. Dexter was the weaker of the two. It's mainly how does Dexter compare to a second? Second, a third. I think I'd rather just give up Dexter. Probably. I mean, better to save the picks. Again, we do have two prospect goalies. Dexter's the weaker of the two behind Alexiev. The issue with Alexiev is the overall. So that's not terrible. It's just, is there a defenseman other than Tim Heed? They want Tim Heed. They really do. It just doesn't make much sense to give him up. I mean, again, he'd be moving into a depth role for the rest of the year. We could leave Simic in that depth role, but if there were to be an injury, we'd have to be relying on Simic, which, I mean, I guess Roy or Wah, I keep forgetting to look it up. He would work, though. If we were to have injury trouble, he could be the guy. So yeah, maybe giving up Tim Heed here. I don't really want to do that, though. But it has to be... Okay, you need to retain. That's not even a question. You need... Can I, through the trade finder, I actually don't even know if I can do this. I don't think I can. I don't think I can tell them through the trade finder that, yeah, you know, Saad, but you're retaining salary. I don't believe I can do that. I can't. That's obviously going to affect what will work, which sucks. You should be able to be like, hey, yeah, you know, this guy, but what if you retain salary on him, right? Because obviously getting them to retain salary is going to affect this, but if we're going to look at also picking up Anderson and Murray, then yeah, they have to retain. So say we take out Heed, we at least know that they have players, or that we have players that they're interested in. We'll add Dexter. There's nobody there I want to give up, even if they have interest in Vlasic. So we'll add Dexter. We'll also add the 3rd rounder this year. Actually, man, the 4th rounder. Looked like it had some decent value-ish. What do they think to that? Insufficient. That is not surprising. What about a 3rd? Still rejected. Again, not really surprising. What about a 2nd, just to see how close we are? So they'd accept it, but they're not willing to retain salary. Are you kidding me? So you're trying to move a veteran because you're listed as a rebuilder, even though you've won 37 games, but you don't... Okay, well, you know what? Then fuck you. How about that? I mean, if you're not willing to retain salary, then it's not happening. Have fun keeping Brandon Saad on your team. Evgeny Dadonov, on the other hand, this could still work out. And again, it's a 1st, Artukin, and a 3rd. Dexter, 2 seconds. Artukin, I mean, I'd rather go Artukin in 2 seconds. That's pretty straightforward. Why not keep Dexter and get rid of a low top 4 defenseman? Are you kidding me? That's easy. 1st and a 3rd or 2 seconds? 2 seconds. Every day. Every day of the week. So, easily get rid of Artukin. But I do wonder if they have any interest in retaining salary. We kind of need them to. If we're going to make some of these other deals work. I don't even know if we'll be able to. So, will this go through still is my question. It will. Which means we're getting kind of screwed on value. We should be able to make this work. Maybe. But I think adding Dadonov to this, to this forward core, if we can still work out a deal for Murray and Anderson and Edmonton, we're golden. So, say we take out that extra 2nd, and we give you a 2nd rounder this year and the Boston 5th, that won't go through. So it's still going to take a decent pick. Can I get it to be a 3rd instead of a 2nd? Okay, it's going to take the 2 seconds, but they will retain salary, which Chicago was not willing to do. So I think we're all right with this. Just let me add like a 5th to safety net this. Cool. Can I add a 4th? Will a 4th work? Yes, it will. Cool. So we're going to be able to recoup some lower picks here. What about a 4th and a 5th? Is that a bridge too far? Yes, it is. So how about Dadonov, a 4th and a 7th? For our Artukin and 2 2nd rounders, that will work. Evgeny Dadonov, welcome to San Jose. With that, cap-wise, this is about to get very interesting to see if I can pull off these other 2 trades. I have my doubts, but we're going to see what we can do. So goalie-wise, I want Craig Anderson. 2 3rd rounders is the price. Cap-wise, it's saying it's approved. So I think, again, it's an expiring deal. Let's see if we can get them to retain. I'm going to safety net this really quickly. With, say, a 5th rounder. Will that go through? Anderson and a 5th for 2 3rds. Awesome. Yes, Edmonton's willing to retain. Thank God. At least some of the AI GMs are smart now. This is great. Chicago's kind of dumb. But then again, they shouldn't have wanted to blow it up anyway. They're in a playoff spot. So let's see here. All right, so we're looking at like a 4th and a 7th. Alongside getting Anderson. All right, it's going to be... Actually, what did I add before? We'll go a 4th. Yeah, let's do that. So 2 3rd round picks for Craig Anderson on half salary and a 4th rounder. That is the deal. Craig Anderson, welcome to San Jose. And you are the veteran presence that we're going to pick up rather than Jake Allen. And that leaves one more player that I want here that's currently available, and that is Ryan Murray. Now, he's a bit more expensive than I'd prefer, but we should be able to swing a deal here if they want to. If not, we still have to keep an eye out for a defenseman, but that's the only thing we have to keep an eye out for. And, okay, we do have a deal. Okay, Thornton's, that's not happening. Sorensen, obviously we're not going to give up Anderson, but I could change that to Aiden Hill. I don't want to give up Sorensen either. Znaev, Nieto, and Anderson, that's not going to happen. Hamelyuk, Nieto. Martin Jones, that's not going to happen either. Okay, I'm not a big fan of any of those trades. I gotta be honest. Gotta be honest, not a big fan of any of those trades. Mainly because the sticking point there is Anderson. We could make this work, though. Say we give up Hamilyuk. I don't want to give up Nieto, though. I don't want to give up any forwards. So say we use those 2 prospects. The issue, I think, here is that you'll notice there's cap. I think that's going to be a problem. It's going to be pretty close money-wise. So, tell you what, we're going to back out of that for the moment. We're going to go back to our side. And now that we've made a deal... Oh my god, the menu lag. Please tell me when to find trade anyway. Nope, okay. And now that we've made that deal, or those deals, I do want to ship some players out of here. And that's going to start in goal, where Aiden Hill's making $1 million. We're going to move on from him. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. I'm still not used to this. Still not used to this. We are going to go back to goalies, and we are going to try and move Aiden Hill, if at all possible. And it is. 4th rounder from Pittsburgh, 5th and a 6th from Philly, Owen and a 7th. I will take that 4th round pick from Pittsburgh. So we're going to move out Aiden Hill for a little bit of cap relief now that Craig Anderson's here. And again, that'll help us out a little bit. And defensively, we still have our main 7. And then forward-wise, Evgeny Dadonov is on this team now, which is tremendous. And that does mean if I wanted to, I don't necessarily want to give up on Dylan Gambrell. And as it is, I think Alex True is going to be the guy that I ultimately scratch here. I don't know what's it. Okay, so the chemistry isn't overly affected. But we're going to take True out. Let's just move Dadonov in for the moment. So that's currently a -1. That's still a -1 just because of the player types more than anything. Dadonov is listed as a 2nd liner. I'm going to have to mess around with that a little bit. Let me go best lines there. But Alex True is definitely going to be the odd man out. It's just a question of, do I want to wait? And I think I do. I think I do want to wait for just a minute. Because again, Gambrell's not going anywhere. We could use him if there's like a major blockbuster. But I don't think there will be. We still want to find a better defenseman. But we don't have him yet. I can't send down True. So that kind of sucks. So who's Alex True in for? Sorensen. Okay. So let's get Sorensen back in here. Over True. We'll have Nieto and Gambrell on the 4th line. Probably just change Gambrell to a grinder. It doesn't really fit him, but that's just where we're going to have him play for now. Out of necessity, and that'll get chemistry there. I mean, unless... I mean, technically, I don't know how well... I mean, Barclay could be changed to a 2-way. Have Matt Nieto play as a sniper. There actually might be some more changes made. I think we have Kevin LeBanc on that side, and then Dadonov can play up top with the all-lefty crew. Yeah, Dadonov as the sniper on the 2nd line. I don't totally hate that. Kane right now is listed as a playmaker. Technically, we're going to want to change that. He was listed as a playmaker because, I mean, Marlowe has a decent enough shot. So I think what we're going to do... There's still a +1 there. Technically, I don't really have to change anything up. Really, that should be fine, even though it's sniper, playmaker. It should be okay, because that top line doesn't even have the boost, and I don't really think, based off of their line fit, that it's going to work. It's just that 3rd line has to change. And I think changing Thornton... to a 2-way will help out with that. Nieto is pretty much fine, and then Gambrell. Actually, what we're going to do is change Nieto to a left wing and make him a sniper. We're going to change Gambrell to a playmaker. And we're going to change Goodrow over to a two-way forward. And I want to see what that looks like. And then we will sim a little bit. We'll see if we find the defenseman that we're looking for, or if we're going to have to try and work out a deal for Ryan Murray, who is still the top option available to us right now. So, Goodrow, let's get you into, I guess, less of a physical role, more of a just defensive, well-rounded role, which didn't work out for him too well. He's done pretty good since we've changed him to a grinder, but with Gambrell and Nieto both being, on that fourth line, we're going to want them to take a little bit more of an offensive approach. So Gambrell's good to go. It's Nieto that has to be changed. Try to get him to be a little bit more offensive. Again, he's a hell of a player to have on a fourth line. A little bit better than that. So we're going to see what he can do. And then, again, it's changing Jumbo for the sake of trying to get just a little bit more chemistry on that third line. And Joe's well-rounded enough to be a two-way. 41 years young. What a guy. Potentially our last chance to get Thornton and Marlowe a cup this year. I mean, you never know. Sometimes Joe plays until he's 44. Other times he doesn't play that long. So you never quite know what you're going to get in a franchise mode. So let's see what we look like. Hopefully we look okay. And we do. That's perfect. It's pretty much what I wanted. So I am going to go best lines again, just to make sure that we are good to go. Take out Alex True for Sorensen. Beautiful. They're at least an even. Defensively, again, we're going to make certain changes. The third pairing is decent. We're going to go, again, if Vlasic has to play second pair, it kind of sucks because he is not doing well. But I suppose we'll leave it for the moment. And Martin Jones, there is now a veteran presence behind you, buddy. That is very much capable, I'd say, of taking your starting spot. We're 4-5-1. We add Evgeny Dadonov, we have Craig Anderson, and we're not done yet. We're about a week and a half out from the deadline. There will still be moves made. I do not want that. And you know what? I actually will set up the block. Just in case we get some offers. So, in terms of what's going to be available, it's going to be pretty much anything, I think, is how we're going to do this. So it's going to be, you know what? Yeah, literally we're going to say anything. And then we can adjust it from there. Whoops. Okay, good. It kept me there. Thought that was going to back me all the way out. That would have sucked. So we're going to say our surplus is literally anything for all three positions. And the want is pretty straightforward. We are looking for a decent defenseman. Don't really want picks, although I gotta do that because that way the AI can factor picks into a potential trade, but that just means I'm likely to get offers like, oh, first round pick for this prospect, please? And it's like, no, I'm not trading Ryan Merkley. It's pretty much the offers that we're gonna get. So defensively, we are gonna go overall, and we're gonna look for someone who's probably an 82 and up. And we'll see if we get any takers on that front. Let's see what we got here. We do get an offer. So yeah, CKs and points. Like, oh, Dadonov and Sorensen. No thank you, Tampa. I'm good. Ryan Suter's on the move. Wow. Arizona takes on the contract and Greg Pateryn for a first and a second. Minnesota moves the Suter deal. Ryan Merkley was roughed up, but he's back to 100%. Alex Alexiev in a third. Basically, Alex Alexiev for Morgan Geekie. So a top defenseman for a top forward. We play St. Louis and lose. My God, we're struggling right now. Dadonov and Sorensen again. Yeah, I had a feeling these were going to be the offers, like I said. Leonard in a fourth for a third and a fifth. Nope. We do beat Montreal. Let's sim to deadline day. see what we have. Hopefully Columbus doesn't make a move that I'm going to regret not making. Palmieri and Brodin for Cizikas, Edmondson, and a second. That is not a very good return for the Devils at all. Nick Merkley, a third and a fifth for Alexiak and Como. So the Coyotes are going for it. They are stocking up right now. To hell with the consequences. Tim Heed's roughed up a little bit. He'll be out for a couple of weeks. Thornton for a second and a third. No thank you. We beat the Leafs. We lose to the Jackets. And that'll bring us to deadline day. So we'll take one more look around the league and see what we're dealing with. We have a 10-point lead on the Golden Knights. So even though we haven't played well in this month and throughout the course of this episode, we're still looking good in terms of having cushion at the top of the division, which is just shocking to me. I thought, when we slip up, especially this time of year, we're going to pay for it. Apparently not. At least not yet. So in terms of, Byfuglien. On an expiring deal, Dustin Byfuglien. Very interesting. Bouwmeester's there too, but Big Buff in San Jose next to Burns? Are you kidding? I think that has to happen. That is, I like Ryan Murray. Dustin Byfuglien is the move right now until further notice. Adding Evgeny Dadonov and Dustin Byfuglien to stock up heading into the playoffs? Good God, man. And Murray's not bad, but someone like Fleury's done pretty well, and Ryan Merkley's doing well too, so we really only have one spot. And I would say it's for Byfuglien or Murray, and I'm probably going to go Byfuglien. Because I think he'll be cheaper with his age. As Goligoski's also there, he's done well, but dude, it's Big Buff. How could we not want to go for Byfuglien? Oh, God, Mike Green's there, but he has 4 years left. Mantha and Athanasiou, both currently unsigned. Edmonton's still moving Nuge, but we're not going to be able to make that work now. Florida with Vetrano still. Kovalchuk. I think we have our trade, man. I think we're targeting Dustin frickin' Byfuglien. Let's go. If we can make this work, that's going to be huge. Ryan Murray is absolutely the fallback plan. P.O. Joseph is there. Oh, yeah. Let's see if we can work out a deal with Winnipeg for one Dustin Byfuglien. Ah, come on. Please. Okay. There's apparently, you know what? Let's see if we can make this work. We apparently don't have anything that they're interested in, but we're going to try to make this work. They're on the fringe of the playoffs. The issue has to be cap, you would think. I'm sure the AI just can't find a way to make it work. Now, in terms of retaining salary, it's tough because they're up against it a little bit. Case in point, they are up against it. There's going to have to be some cap wizardry to pull this deal off from the looks of it. We might have to make another move for the sake of clearing out some cap space to make this happen. Vlasic could be the guy. Oh, God, Simic and Hobbs are both on one ways. That's not too much being cleared out. Okay, that's what we're going to have to do if we're going to try to get Byfuglien, is we got to make some other minor deals, more than likely, because I'm going to be stubborn, and I'm holding on to Vlasic. But I'm going to see if I can make some minor deals to try and free up just a little bit more cap space. Try and make this work. So if you're on a one-way deal, I would love to get rid of your contract right about now. So again, Vlasic staying, Merkley staying, Fleury is staying. So Wah is gone. No, he's not. He's staying. Never mind. But I think Simic, who's been really good for us, is probably out. And Hobbs is probably out too. I like Connor Hobbs, but I like Dustin Byfuglien more. So is there a deal for Simic? There is not. Is there a deal for Hobbs and Simic? There is not. Just for Hobbs? Really? No one's interested in Hobbs. Okay. Wingers. Oh, God. Dylan Gambrell. He's getting paid nothing right now, man. I can't get rid of him. Oh, it's rough. Dude, I can't believe how much Dadonov is on right now for half salary. That's incredible. Logan Couture, Vander Kane, Sorensen, Nieto, True. Leonard, of course, isn't signed. Matt Nieto is a decent option to move out. I forgot we were paying him 2.6. I think we can move Matt Nieto out because hell, Daniil Urtykin could play that spot right now. So if we go Nieto, Simic, and Hobbs, nothing. What about just Nieto and Simic? Whoops. Please remove Hobbs. Nieto and Simic, nothing. I don't know if it's just cap or what. Okay, we do have deals for Nieto at least. We have 11 offers. So a third, a fourth, and some scrub goalie. Austin Watson for the rest of the year, which isn't going to happen. I don't want to take any cap back. Same with Miller. Third, a fourth, and Dale Weiss. Dale Weiss as a plug isn't the worst option. Faxa, third, and Vetrano. There we go. 2/3 from Tampa. I like that. And a third and a fourth from Winnipeg. But obviously, we don't want to send Cap to Winnipeg right now. So we're going to send Matt Nieto to Tampa for 2 third-round picks. I'm going to double-check this because if it's like MLB, the AI will always try to rob you a little bit in terms of value. So let's see if I can add a fourth to this. Nope. Okay, so yeah, 2 third-round picks for Matt Nieto. Didn't want to move on from him, but we had to. And that means Alex True will be back in on the fourth line. So, hey, if it pisses off some people, so be it. But we're doing what we have to do. How close can a lot of these guys be to Matt Nieto? Come on now. He's been here for a couple of months. I mean, unless you're, like a long-time member of this team, then yeah, maybe it sucks to see him go. But come on now. Goodrow's not getting paid anything. Maxim Latunov can go. Jaden Hall-Gawaks can go too. Again, on one-way deals. If I can free up even a little bit, I'll do it. No trades for these guys. Latunov. Okay, we do have offers for Latunov. 4th and a 6th from Arizona. 4th and a 6th from Calgary. Dowling, Taylor Fredune. A 4th and a 5th from Florida, which is the go-to move right now. 4th and a 5th from Nashville. 4th and a 5th from Tampa. 4th and a 5th from Toronto. I'd rather send them out east. So we're going to take that deal from Washington and send Max Latunov out to the Caps, which works for me. Clears up another roster spot. Gives us just a little tiny bit more maneuverability. Not much, but enough ultimately. And I know they're in the minors and everything too, but still, it's good. I want to get rid of them anyway and get something for them because, I mean, they're still in the minors anyway. So just to double check now, actually, I wanted to stay there. I do wonder if just a little bit of a shake-up is enough for Winnipeg to be able to say, oh my God, there's no way that you suddenly don't want to trade Byfuglien. Are you kidding me? How? The same day they just decided they don't want it? What, is it because other deals happened? That's insanity. Wow, so just like that, they don't want to trade Byfuglien. Now we can get deals going, but he's that much more expensive. Gambrell and Sorensen, son of a bitch. Oh, are you kidding me that just happened? So I can still get Byfuglien, but now he's super freaking expensive. As opposed to what he might have been. I don't understand. Like, did the AI base it off of the fact that, like, other deals were made and players moved around, like, on the same day? And why would my deals have affected that? It would make sense, I guess, if it was a living day, as in, like, an actual day. It would make sense, but I don't know. I don't feel like that makes much sense. So what we're going to do is double-check the price of Murray, and we'll look at it from there. I mean, we can still go for guys who aren't on the block. Again, more expensive, though. Let's go back to Columbus and double-check Ryan Murray's fits on that third pairing perfectly. Oh, how expensive are you? Sorensen, Anderson, and True? Absolutely not. Dexter, Anderson, True. They really want Craig Anderson. They need a goalie. So, obviously I'd be able to rework this a little bit. So that's fine. I think I can get this to work, though. Hopefully. God, that's so frustrating, though. That's so frustrating. Right when I think we're going to be able to get Dustin friggin' Byfuglien, that happens and it all kind of falls apart. So you know what I want to do? What I want to do now is take a look at the worst teams in the league and see who we could potentially get from those teams, even if they don't want to trade people. So we're looking at LA, we're looking at Detroit, we're looking at New Jersey, the Islanders, Dallas, Montreal, CBJ makes a lot of sense. Ottawa's there too. I gotta be honest now, I'm thinking Murray's the top option. I'm thinking Ryan Murray is the best option for us here, which isn't saying much, unfortunately, but it just appears to be the reality. Los Angeles, you don't really have anybody on defense that I want. You don't. I don't think Detroit does either at this point. You're not even trying to get rid of Green anymore. Cholowski's way too expensive, so is Ronick. That's just not going to work. New Jersey, I mean, Butcher, but I think he still has time left. Yeah, there's nobody that I want there. The Islanders, again, nobody that I want there, just based off of contracts. Montreal, I mean, Jeff Petrie. Jeff Petrie could work. How good of a year has he been having? Not bad. Is there a deal for Jeff Petrie? Ryan Merkley, Evander Kane. Okay, well, nope. All right. Ryan Murray's the guy. I just need to rework this to not have Columbus be getting back a goaltender, because that's just not going to happen. At least not, Craig Anderson, who is our top goalie option to pick up to get a little bit of depth. So if Dexter's the starting point, I'm cool with that. That's fine. Cap-wise as well, can they retain? They can. At least retain some if you can't retain all. Give me that alleviation just in case. Thank you. I know that's going to add more to the value, but that is what it is. So I will gladly give them Dexter. He's not our top goalie prospect. It's fine by me. Like I said, I get that they need a goalie, but you're not going to get him from me unless you want Soderstrom, and he doesn't have much value. Defensively, there's not, Kznayev or Nyazev, whatever the hell it is. Nyazev, whatever the hell his name is. I'm cool with adding him in. Don't know if low fours are going to develop anyway. And forward-wise, same thing with Hameliuk. If we can add him, I'd be cool with that. So we're giving up 3 decent prospects. None of them are guarantees, though. For Ryan Murray, what are we looking at? That went through. I'm glad I tacked on that third. Ryan Murray, welcome to San Jose. And with that, we are set for this playoff push. So we try to free up space for Byfuglien. That falls apart. We end up with Ryan Murray, though. Let's take a look here. So it's Jones and Anderson, Burns, Carlson, Murray, Vlasic, Merkley, and Fleury. So Heed will be the extra. Simic can stay. I could probably get away with sending him down. I don't have to, though. There are some other guys I could look to deal here if there were deals out there to try and get value. But again, like Hobbs, there was nobody interested. And then forward-wise, we have our 10, 11, and 12. I think we stick with True. Give them a little bit of time. There are other guys we can potentially call up for the playoffs if we need to. I'm going to actually have to call up Actually, we still have your Tyken here, right? What happened? Oh, did your Tyken get auto sent down? Daniil? Where are you, Daniil? Wherefore art thou, Daniil? There he is. Let's call him back up. My boy, Daniil. Gets the call up. And we will go best lines at the NHL level. And put Sorensen back there. Fourth line's okay. No bumps, but that's alright. Playmaker, two-way, and a grinder's a weird combo. I'm willing to give it a shot. And then defensively, this is where it's going to be interesting because Merkley did fit in on the other line. We know we got to keep Vlasic on somewhat of a high line. Merkley's worked out well. Ooh, Fleury and Murray work together pretty well. I like it. I like it a lot. So that's, I think those are the combos for the moment. It doesn't look bad. There are some question marks, but a little bit of insurance across the team. I think we're looking pretty good. Again, there's some other dudes that we just can't get rid of, unfortunately. That would be great to get rid of them. We have a defenseman and a forward. That is a problem. But I don't think... Actually, here, you know, we might as well double check. I don't think the AHL team's in a playoff spot right now, which is fine. But I might as well do one more check just to see if I can send out any defensemen for anybody, just to get rid of some of these dudes if we can. So again, Waugh stays, or Roy, whatever. Strand can stay. Simic's fine. Again, we have too many dudes. Too many dudes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2. Yeah, so we only really have like one too many dudes. This dude, is there a market for him? There is not. What about Carrick? No market for Carrick. No market for Hobbs. No market for Breezewa. Market for Simic? No. What about Gavrikov? No. Screw it, we're fine. We have too many forwards in the AHL. Don't care. I don't believe they're going to make the playoffs. So anyway, let's see what this team's capable of. We have a 10-point lead with 19 games to go in the season. Let's do this. Beyond the deadline we go. Ryan Murray, Evgeny Dadonov. Holy 7-0 win. Ryan Murray, Evgeny Dadonov, and Craig Anderson added to the team to try and give this team a little bit of an extra push to make sure that come playoff time, we have as good a chance to win as we possibly could. It's really what it comes down to. And despite that slip up against Colorado, we've gotten back into fine form as the Red Wings fire their head coach. We lose to St. Louis, but we get a pity point out of it. Lost to Montreal. Central Scouting I'm not worried about. We beat Chicago 6-2. Nice job keeping Saad, you losers. We lose to Vancouver. We beat the Arizona Coyotes as we are approaching 50 wins in consecutive seasons. We get crushed by Anaheim. We beat the Avs. Battle of Alberta. We beat Edmonton, but lose to Calgary. So 49 wins on the year with 2 games left to go in this season. The division is ours. Yet again, 105 points. We're looking damn good as we head into the playoffs yet again, as we are currently battling for the top seed in the West, even in points with Chicago. So an interesting game here against the Coyotes that we win. Chicago is yet to play. So we take on a brutal LA team, and a win could get us the top seed in the West. We lose 4-1, and that secures the Blackhawks via tiebreaker the top record in the West. Actually, they hadn't even played their extra game yet. Indeed, they still haven't played it. Holy shit. Can you play your final game of the year, please? Thank you. 109 points for Chicago. It would not have mattered anyway. Ultimately, we win the Pacific Division yet again, but do not get the top seed, which, I mean, some would define that as a curse anyway. So we make the playoffs. The Ducks and Flames also make it. The LA Kings were hot garbage. In the Central, Chicago, Colorado, St. Louis, Minnesota, and Nashville all make it. Winnipeg, maybe you should have moved Bufflin. Maybe you would have liked to have been in the playoffs. The Atlantic, Tampa was unreal. Florida, Boston, and Toronto made it. Montreal still struggling, but don't worry, it's not Carey's fault. It's just the defense in front of him. Detroit's also pretty bad. And in the Metro, Philly, Pittsburgh, Washington, all over 100 points. The Rangers make it as well. The Devils really struggled. So we were the third best team in the league. Tampa just friggin' ran away with it. The bottom half of the league looks like this. LA, Detroit, New Jersey, Montreal, and Columbus, your bottom 5. Goals for per game, we had the second best offense behind the Blackhawks. Goals against was a 2.93, which was bottom 10 roughly. Our power play was at 22.2%. Our penalty kill was at 80%, which was decent, mid-table. Maybe something we could look to address, but obviously the addition of Dadonov does help that in a way. In terms of the point totals, we have Timo Meier leading the way amongst forwards with 77 points, 76 for Logan Couture, and 72 for Tomas Hertl. So all 3 members of the top line finished with at least 70 points. Evander Kane, 66 and 29 goals. Evgeny Dadonov finished here with 58 points, 55 for Marleau, and 52 for Joe Thornton. 41 for Kevin Labanc, Sorensen with 34, 32 for Goodrow, which is great for a fourth liner, 23 for Gambrell, 13 adding 17 games for your Tyken, 10 points in 77 games for Alex True. Like I said, we have options in terms of who we could call up. No one's really lit the world on fire from an offensive standpoint, though, in the AHL, at least from what you can see there. Defensively, Carlson, amazing. Burns, 63 points, 25 goals. Murray, solid. Fleury, Merkley. Vlasic was at least okay. I'm feeling much better, though, now with Ryan Murray here. And goaltending-wise, you know, I don't know. If Martin Jones starts, I don't know how long the leash is. That's all I'm saying. Around the league, let's take a look. Patrick Kane, absolutely. He and DeBrincat dominated alongside Strome. Ovechkin, 67 goals. 67. It's unbelievable. In terms of goals, of course, he was the leader. Patrick Kane also hit 60. Anders Lee was up there. God damn. Anders Lee. Amongst defensemen, Erik Karlsson led the way. Very, very nice. And amongst the goal scorers, it was Brent Burns again, 25. One of 3 defensemen hit at least 20 goals. For the goaltenders, the winningest was Colin Delia. He was their starter, huh? Holy shit. Shutouts, 12 for Vassy, my God. Double. Tuukka Rask, Jake Allen, and Hellebuck. And in terms of save percentages, it was Sergei Bobrovsky. Could maybe go to Vassy, but probably to Bobrovsky. Jake Allen was up there, though. Maybe he was the answer. For the rookies, it is going to be Alex Nylander who wins the Calder over the likes of Vitaly Kravtsov, Kirill Kaprizov, and Alex Turcotte. That brings this regular season to a close. We have options for the lineup heading into this postseason matchup. Let me know what you think in terms of how deadline day, or really deadline month, went for us. Did we make the right moves? And in the first round, we take on the Minnesota Wild. If you enjoyed the episode, you know the deal. Drop a like on the video. Greatly appreciated. Again, looking forward to hearing you from the comments down below. And I will see you in the next one. We'll be choking the first round again against a team that perennially chokes. Should be fun to find out.